Hey guys, this is the JavaScript course for Shopify theme development. After this course, you will be able to understand global JavaScript files in any of the Shopify theme, and also you will be able to create the dynamic functionalities in any kind of Shopify theme. And we will be covering all of the JavaScript related topics for Shopify theme development in this video by creating the real world projects. Let me show you all of the small projects that we will be creating in this video. First of all, we will create a free shipping progress bar in the cart drawer, and after that we will be displaying upsells in the cart drawer based upon the line item meta field. You can see this is the product right now and it has these upsell items and we are able to see them in the cart drawer. And also you can see that we have a free gift when we add a product into the cart. Let me show you. If we select this free gift option, because you can see based upon the meta field value, we are able to see this gift wrapping option. We can also add the free gift or maybe gift wrapping by additional price based upon your requirements. You can see when we add this product into the cart, we are getting the gift wrapping also into the cart drawer. And if we delete the original product, its gift wrapping will be also deleted from the cart. So we will be doing all this in this video, and after that we will create the dynamic image swatches like this one. When we hover over the image, you can see the main image also updates on the product card, and on the PDP we will be able to update any of the dynamic information coming from the variant level data. For example, this information is coming from the variant meta fields of this product, and if we change the variant, we will be able to see the change in this information. So based upon these real world projects, you will be able to understand any kind of global JavaScript files in any Shopify theme. We will also be covering the developer tools to find out exact JavaScript code that is responsible for any kind of interaction in our Shopify theme. For example, if we want to search for the code that is opening and closing this card drawer, we can find like this. This is just an example. You can see in the card drawer.js, we are able to see that the close function is closing and the open method in this card drawer class is opening this card drawer. So in this way, you will be able to learn more tips and tricks in this video. If you want to get some more exposure regarding JavaScript in the Shopify theme development, this video is best for you. Hello guys, welcome to Shopify theme development course. So in this first step, we will be creating our local environment for the Shopify theme development. We will be using Shopify CLI and GitHub to track all of the changes into Shopify theme files. First of all, you can see that I have a development store. Maybe you can have your client store or you can have your own store. So let's see, I have created this development store with the test data. You can see that I have this Dawn theme and my store name is this one. So you can have your client store or maybe your development store for the learning purpose. I'll be using this store for the learning purpose. Okay, first of all, what we need to do is we have to pull these theme files into our local machine. We will be pulling these files in Shopify CLI. The documentation, you can see that we need to have the Shopify CLI. We want to have a Shopify store. It can be your client store or your development store. I think for learning purpose, development store would be better, and you can install the Shopify CLI according to the operating system. And you should have your GitHub account. Let's see, I have this terminal open. I will be creating this repository where I will be pulling all the changes from the Shopify store. Okay, let's see. And here I will use this command, Shopify theme pull store, and this is the store name. You can see the store name right here. This command will pull all the changes in the Shopify theme. I want to pull this Dawn theme that is live, and once these changes are pulled, I will initiate a GitHub repository. I will create Git repository right here and connect this repository into this one. Okay, create a new repository. Private, pull all these changes. Okay guys, our theme files are pulled successfully. Now open this folder in the VS Code. Now we will be enabling our Git right here. And let's connect this repository. push the changes to the GitHub. We have our theme files available in the local machine, and these files are also present in the GitHub repository. And now we will connect this GitHub repository into the Shopify theme. Our GitHub should have the permissions for the repository to connect with Shopify. You can see that I have only granted the access to the selected repositories. In my case, I will select this repository, and now we'll be able to connect. Our GitHub repository is now connected to the Shopify theme. Now let's publish this. Okay, the main benefit of this workflow is that we will be able to track all of the changes. So whether these changes are from the online editor or the customizer. Okay, let's see the example. If we make some changes into the theme files, we will be able to see these changes directly into the repository. Let's create an h1 changes from online editor. I have saved these changes, and you will be able to see these changes right here into the repository. Okay, let's refresh. Here you can see that these changes are coming. These changes are made by the Shopify bot, and these changes are coming from the online editor. And similarly, if we change any of the theme setting from this customizer, we will be able to see the change directly into the repository. So if we make it middle center and save it, we will be able to see this change directly into our repository. You can see that we have updated the config file, and let's see this latest commit. And these changes are coming into the settings data.json and index.json. In the index.json, we can see that this bottom center setting was removed and this middle center was added. So in this way, we can keep track of all the changes that are whether from the online editor or from the theme customizer. And similarly, we can make the changes right from the repositories, and these changes will automatically reflect instantly into the Shopify theme. So let's see, we have now this changes from the online editor, and pull the changes from a repository. In the theme doc liquid, we can see that h1 has the changes from the online editor, changes from VS Code, and commit and push. Git add, git commit, VS Code, and git push. I'm pushing this directly into the master for the demo purpose, but the best practice is to use the branches to push your changes into the master branch. You can see that I have pushed the changes, and these changes are directly visible to theme files instantly. So we will be creating different projects that will help us to learn Shopify theme development in effective and better way. So see you right there. In the previous video, we have actually set up the Shopify theme into the local machine, and also we connected this Git repository as a Shopify theme. So let's see. In this video, we will be building a free shipping progress bar. Let me show you how this will work. We can see that here we have progress bar showing that you are $25.02 away from free shipping. Okay, if we increase the quantity, you can see that we are only $4 away from the free shipping. So, and there is a little animation like the progress bar goes from 0 to actual value. So we will be building this progress bar, and let me refresh the page, and you can see that here I have placed an intentional bug into the code that you will have to fix as your assignment. Let me show you the bug. If we open the card drawer, you can see that is not actually in the correct. You have to fix this bug by your own. This will be the assignment. Okay, so let's see how this works. Actually, this progress bar will only count the items that require the shipping. For example, if we add the free gift to the cart, so you can see that we have added the free gift into the, you can see that the amount is not changing because this amount depends upon only the items that require the shipping, and it does not apply for the items that don't require the shipping, gift cards and some digital products. So on those products, free shipping threshold not actually. So let's see how we will be building this. Let me first of all discard all the changes into the theme. And in the previous video, we pulled all the changes from the Shopify theme into the local machine, and also connected this Git repository to the Shopify. I have made an additional change in the settings, theme settings. I have selected the card drawer and pulled this change into the local machine. So therefore we are able to see this card drawer right here. And okay, let me close this. This is taking a lot of processing power. So okay, so now let's see how we can build this. First of all, we need to run the Shopify theme into the local machine. We will be using this command Shopify theme dev, and with the -s code, and this is actually the representation of store theme dev and store. This is the store name. Store name is actually here. You can get the store name right from here. Okay, so we have to get this area in the card drawer. Under the card drawer header, we have to place our code. So let's search for the card drawer header. Okay, we can see right here under this div, we have to place our code. Let's add a div free shipping bar goes here, and okay, let me run the theme into the local environment. You can see that our theme is currently syncing, and we can preview by following this link and open the console. So I am actually showing my way of development, like how I approach the things and make the development. Okay, so now we have applied this change. Let's see if okay, this change under the card drawer header, and now let's remove this heading from theme.liquid that we actually placed in the initial way. Because we are now creating the free shipping bar, let's create a new branch. Git checkout -b. Maybe we can free shipping. We can call this free shipping. Okay, now let's commit this change. Free shipping init. Git add. Git commit. Okay, so first of all, we need to calculate the cart total of the items that require shipping. We will assign cart total, and we will loop through all the items dot items, and if the item requires the shipping, then we will assign the cart total. We will plus the item dot final line price, and the cart total will be updated. So let's see what we get in the cart total. Okay, you have to keep open this terminal where your local theme is running in order to see that whether the file is synced or not. So it helps a lot. Sometimes there is an error and file doesn't sync, and it really helps to see the error. Okay, so you can see that we get the price in the cents. So we are getting price in the cents. The price is actually updating correctly. We can see 249845, 249845, because we can see that we are skipping the digital products. Gift card is a kind of digital product, so we are skipping the price of the digital products. Okay, I actually have made these calculations beforehand, and will share this snippet with you. So let's see. First of all, we need to assign the free shipping threshold. We need to assign the free shipping threshold in cents. We need to have 5,000 in cents. I will add 2 more zeros right here, and after that you can see that we need to have a remaining amount. Okay, calculate the remaining amount. Remaining amount is this one. So actually we need $501.55 to get the free shipping. So now let's add a message, free shipping message, assign free shipping message. Okay, let's see how we can show that. Instead of making this as variable, we can show this right here. Unit amount remaining, money with currency, filter, and to get free shipping. Okay, so let's remove these and refresh the page. You actually need this amount to get the free shipping, and make this bold. Okay, you actually need this to get the free shipping, and let's make it some better design using the CSS. Let me copy the styles right from here. I have written down. I will provide this snippet for you. Okay, so you can design it according to your needs. Okay, now we need to have the remaining percentage. We have this box. We now need to have the progress bar right here. So I have made this div with the free shipping progress bar, and free shipping progress bar has this design width. Actually, this is a block with this styling width, and height is 5 pixels. Background color is a light gray, and its core element is actually having the green color, that is representing the progress of the amount that actually we have added into the cart, and gray color will be representing the amount remaining. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, for the demonstration purpose, let's keep this 50%. You can see that 50% is actually achieved. So we will get the of the free shipping that we have achieved using the calculation. Okay, I have done the calculation beforehand. You can see right here we have the amount remaining. I have added it right here, and let's copy this right and paste it right here. Okay, the amount remaining is actually the difference of the free shipping and the free shipping threshold and the cart total. If the cart total is equal to the free shipping threshold, then the amount remaining will be 0, and if the cart total is more than a threshold, then it will be in the minus. So if we have amount remaining less than or equal to 0, then we will assign the amount remaining equal to 0. This will actually give this green percentage equal to 100%. So this is the calculation that we can understand and update according to needs. Okay, so once we have the amount remaining, we need to have the difference between the free shipping threshold and the amount remaining, and let's see the percentage remaining. This is actually the difference divided by free shipping threshold multiplied by 100. So this is the formula to calculate the percentage. Okay, so free shipping progress bar active class is actually having the correct amount of the percentage. Therefore I have added this active class right here. Okay, let me update it right here. This is for the animation purpose, don't confuse it right now. Okay, so we can see that in the before element we added the width, that is actually the percentage remaining. If we increase the quantity, you can see the percentage is also increasing and decreasing depending upon the cart items. Okay, so you can see that we need 5,000 to get the free shipping. So let's add some other items into the cart and see what we have achieved. Okay, so you can see that this is working perfectly fine, but we need something else. Like whenever we increase the quantity, we need to have this progress bar start from 0 and go up to the current percentage. So therefore we need to find some way to add a class, and depending upon that class we will be moving this progress bar to current location. And let's see, we need to have an active class dot active, and correct width. We will add this active class after our code is rendered. So here is the learning point. Okay, we will be adding this active class after that. Okay, so let's see whenever how this code is rendering. Okay, so we need to add the active class to this. We can test this right here in the CLS add active. You can see that when we add the active class, it is actually animating. This animation is due to this transition. We have added the transition on the width of this progress bar before element. So this is animating right here. So we need to add this active class after this whole section is rendering. Okay, let's see, here comes the debugger. Okay, let's see in the network tab. First of all, we need to see which code is responsible to update this content. So you can see that here we are getting a change request. In the initiator, we can see that which code is actually, we can see all the call stack. That is, when we press the button, this code runs, then this, then this, then this, then this, and so on. So first of all, when we click the button, on button click, this is the event that is responsible for increasing the quantity. We can go to the global JS, and you can see the on button click. You can see that if the name is plus, then it is changing the quantity. Okay, and after that change, we run the validate quantity, and after validating the quantity, we update the quantity. Okay, let's see the quantity, and update is actually in the cart.js. Update quantity is in the cart.js, and let's see what happens. We fetch the URL, and let's go through it step by step. Okay, let's increase the quantity and see what happens. Okay, so we are getting the state of the cart. and that we are adding this debugger points right here, and press this play button. We will go to this point. Okay, cart element. This is actually okay. Let's see what we get. It we can in the console. If you are not getting the console, maybe you can press escape, and right from here you can go to the console, and in the you can see you can type any right here, and you will be able to get the quantity. Let's see what we get in the state. Okay, we are not getting the state variable in this function. Okay, let's go to next step. Let's see what we get in the items. In the items we are getting 2 items. Okay, so let's see. Okay, here we can see the rendering of the element. We can see that whenever we press the plus button, the card drawer is re-rendered. We have to find that code actually which is responsible for re-rendering the card drawer. Okay, so let's see. We can see this function. This function is getting the elements that need to be re-rendered. Okay, so first of all, the card drawer will be re-rendered, and the icon bubble is actually the element that shows on the cart icon. Okay, so let's add a debugger right here and press play button. We will jump to this point. Okay, you can see that element to replace and elements to replace. Okay, we are getting each section, and in each section we are getting the updated section. You can read this code. Okay, let's see. In this section we are, for each section we are replacing the current element with the new element. Get section element. We are getting the new section from the parsed state. Parsed state is actually right from here. We are getting in the response. If we look to the parsed state, in the past state we actually get these updated sections. We can see these updated sections. We have increased the quantity, and now currently we have 12 items. In the icon we can see that we have 12 items, and similarly this card drawer is also updated. This card drawer will have the new updated data, including this snippet right here. Okay, so it is actually, this section is updating the previous sections. So you can see that after we we jumped this code, you can see that this section is updated. So we have to go to this code. We can see that this is currently in the card.js. We have to go to the card.js, and in this area, after that we have to add an event, JavaScript event, document.dispatch event card drawer updated, and from here, okay, we don't need the callback function. We only need to dispatch this event. Okay, in right here we need a script, and we need to add an event listener. We need to listen this event right here. So this code will be communicating with it. Basically we are telling the document that the card drawer is updated, now do whatever you want. So here we are doing stuff like we are adding an event listener right here, and we will run this code to, and right here we can say that card drawer updated. Okay, remove these event listeners and play this code, refresh it and go to console and update the quantity. Okay, maybe this is not synced. Document dispatch event. Okay, we have to dispatch the event like new custom event, like this new custom event. We are basically dispatching a new custom event. Okay, and listening this custom event in this code, you can see that we are getting this console log card drawer updated. And once the card drawer is updated, we need to add the active class right here in this free shipping progress bar. Okay, document.query selector. We actually need an optional chaining, like whether this is present or not. Query selector this, and class list dot add active. Okay, you can see that this is correct right here, but we need some delay. Like let's add a 1 second delay to run this code. We can use set timeout 1 second, because previously this was updating instantly, and there was no time to go it back and come to its original place. Therefore it is not working correctly. Therefore I have added this 1 second delay. Okay, you can see that after adding some delay, it is working perfectly fine. It is starting from 0 and its original position. And once we completed the threshold, we need to update this text. So we need to store it in the variable. So to store this kind of text, we are getting actually a static text and this dynamic text. If we have this variable, the capture, liquid capture is good for this kind of variables. Okay, let's see, capture message, shipping message, and display it right here. And if remaining amount is 0, we can capture it again. You can update it according to your need. You have achieved free shipping. Okay, you have achieved the free shipping. Okay, there is an intentional bug in this code. You can see that whenever we refresh the page and open the, even if we have achieved the free shipping, the progress bar is not showing. You have to find this bug and solve this. This is your assignment. So we can make the improvement like this. We can copy this code in the snippet and place it right here. Shipping bar dot liquid, place it right here and format. And render shipping bar, we need any of the parameters if the cart requires shipping. So you can see that free shipping progress bar is actually done. Okay guys, let's see. In the previous video, we have created this shipping progress bar, free shipping progress bar, but there was a bug. Like whenever we open the cart drawer, you can see that this is not showing the correct position of the progress. So let's fix this in this video. You can see that whenever we increase the quantity, the cart drawer re-renders itself, and we add the active class to this cart drawer. So currently you can see that the progress bar, this free shipping progress bar, has the active class. If we remove the class right from here, so you can see that this progress is shown based upon this active, and this animation is based upon this active class. So we need to find, like whenever cart drawer is, we want to add the active to our free shipping progress. How we can do? First of all, we need to find the code which is responsible for opening this cart drawer. And let's observe this DOM, like what happens when we click this cart icon. So you can see that this cart drawer gets the active class right from here, and whenever we close, active class is removed. If we want to see which code is responsible to add the active class, we need to add a breakpoint right here. Press right click and break on node attribute modification, because the class is an attribute is modified whenever the class is added or removed. Therefore we need to add the breakpoint on the attribute modification. You can see that this cart_drawer.js, in the close function, we can see that the class is removed from this cart drawer. Okay, so let's run this code and see. By pressing the cart icon again, we can see that the cart_drawer.js has the open function. Also, you can see that this cart drawer has the open function, and this open function is responsible for adding the active class in the cart drawer. So here we, after this code is run, we need to, okay, let's see what happens when this class is added. Let's go to the next line. Okay, when we go to the next line, you can see that the cart drawer is opened and this transition event listener is added, and this body gets this class overflow hidden. We will not be able to scroll the page. Okay, you can see that we are no longer able to scroll the page because the body gets the overflow hidden class. Okay, so now we have seen that in the cart drawer we have an open function. In the cart_drawer.js we have an open function, and in the open function we had the set timeout, and it adds the active class to the cart drawer. Let's go to the code and press Command Shift F and paste our code. We can see that in the cart_drawer.js we are able to see this function. So after this code, we need to make a custom event like we made in the previous video while creating this free shipping bar. Okay, let's dispatch a new event on the document.dispatch event, new custom event, cart drawer opened. Okay, let's see what we previously we used cart drawer updated function. Okay, now we have dispatched the cart drawer opened event. So let's listen this event right here. Okay, and whenever we listen this event cart drawer opened, we will be able to see the console log, the cart drawer opened, and after 1 second we will add this class to the progress bar. This will show a transition on the free shipping progress bar. let's see. So our DOM breakpoint was already here. Therefore, when we opened the card drawer, our code was paused right here. Let's place its code and see the console. Okay, so I think we need to do it some other way. We cannot do this like this. We need to copy this and let's remove this DOM breakpoint. Card drawer opened and we can see the active class is added right here. Okay, let's open the card drawer again. Okay, so if we want some other functionality, like whenever we close the card drawer and open it again, we need to have the animation. So what we can do is whenever we close the card drawer, we will remove the active class, and when we open it again, we will add the active class again. So we can do is we can, in the close function, we can dispatch an event closed, and similarly we can copy this code, like listen the card drawer closed event, and from the free shipping progress bar remove the active class. So in this way, whenever we open the card drawer, we will be able to see the animation and it will be good experience. Okay, whenever we close it, whenever we closed, opened, closed, opened. Yes, this is how we can work with the custom events. We can communicate between codes. So the benefit of using this custom events in the JavaScript is that we don't want to clutter all of this code right here. So we can use this event anywhere in the code and add our snippet into the related code. So in this way, code will be cleaner and we will have the better control in the JavaScript. Okay, so our assignment is done. We can merge this code into the main. We can merge this code into the main. Pull this code right in the master. Okay, please let me know if you have any questions or suggestions. I'll be happy to help you. Hey guys, in this video we will be creating these product upsells in the cart drawer. I got this reference theme. You can see that we have these items into the cart, and these product upsells are dynamic depending upon the items that are present in the cart drawer. Okay, so whenever we select the add to cart button, this pop-up is shown to select the options, and once we select the options and press the add to cart button, this product is added to the cart. So this pop-up is mostly referred as quick add pop-up, and this pop-up can vary from theme to theme. So in this theme, this is presented like this. This appears from the right side, and in other themes it may vary. So I have created this same example in Dawn theme. So let's see how it appears. Okay, I have created the same functionality. I have added this product into the cart, and you can see that we have two upsell items into the cart. Okay, once we add a product into the cart, you can see that this product is no longer present in the cart upsells, and this product has the options to select. We see a button to choose the options, and the quick add model is opened like this in Dawn theme. So it is recommended to use the native elements of the theme to build these kind of functionalities. So I'm using the native pop-up for quick add. Okay, you can see that once we add all of the recommended items into the cart, we no longer see the recommendations. Okay, so let's see how I implemented this. First of all, we need to create a meta field for the product. You can see that I have this upsells and the product is the value. We have to select a list of products. So you can see that for this product, I have two upsell items. Now let's go to the theme files. I will discard all the changes and build it from scratch. Okay, let's open the card drawer and remove the items from the card drawer. Okay, so now we have only one item into the card drawer. We will render the upsell items associated with this product right here under the card drawer line items. So let's search for the card drawer line items into the theme files. Okay, first of all, let me close all these, and I have searched for the card drawer items. In the card drawer, you can see that the ending tag, ending element of the card drawer items, we have to render all the upsells right here. Okay, so first of all, we will loop through all the items into the cart dot items, and for each item we will, okay, let's get the product and meta fields, custom upsells. Okay, let's see what we get. Maybe it is not synced, so you can see that the file is synced. Let's refresh the page and see. Okay, here we can see the list of product IDs. So because we have the list of products, we have to use the value of the upsells instead of IDs. Now we will be able to see the actual products. So you can see that we get a product list drop. So because this is the product list, we can loop through it, and each product will be upsell. Now let's render the upsell title. Let's refresh the page. Okay, you can see that we have the titles of each upsell product. Okay, now we have to render the product cards. You can see that in most of the themes, these product cards are available and they are named mostly like product cards, card products, and similarly like this. We can use the native product card. Let's search for the card. We are able to see the card product. Okay, we can see that this is the card product and these are the arguments that it accepts. Okay, so in most of the times this card product is rendered on the collection page. So let's search for the collection, main collection product grid, and search for the card product. Okay, you can see that the card product is rendered in the main collection product grid, and this card product is accepting these arguments right here. I'm sharing my method of workflow and like how I approach different problems, and the general idea is same in each of the theme. You just have to use the native element of each of the theme. Okay, we have used the card product, and here the product will be the upsell, and let's see the arguments. Here we can see that only all of the arguments are optional, but we can see vendor, rating, quick add, and the section ID. These 4 arguments are, we have to pass them. Okay, let's see. We don't want to show the vendor, so let's use the false and quick add and the section ID. Okay, let's see what we get in the quick add. Okay, we can see that this is used in the main collection product grid, and let's see what options we get in the quick add. So here I found something that in the quick add, in the down theme quick add, here is written as the boolean, but if we try to add the boolean, it doesn't accept. So I checked right from the main collection product grid. So here are different values, none. So this argument is not written correctly. So you can see that we will be using standard. You can see that we have to cross check. We can cross check all of these things from different areas of the current theme. Okay, so this section ID. Let's see how the card drawer is rendered in our theme card drawer, because this is the snippet and it will be used in theme.liquid. We can see that if the card type is the drawer, we are rendering the snippet right away. So this is not used anywhere into. So you can see that this card drawer is not rendered into a section or as a section. So we can pass the section ID as the line item. We can pass anything right here. Okay, so let's see what we get. Okay, here we are able to see the cards, product cards. So let's add some CSS. I have already created this card upsell snippet so that you can copy it right from here. So I will use this CSS for the wrapper, and I will name the wrapper. I will add the class to this wrapper, and we can see that these cards are currently vertical. And in the parameters of the card product, we can see that we have horizontal class. We can use that, and this parameter is a boolean. Horizontal class is true, and now we will be able to see the horizontal cards in the card drawer. Okay, card upsell is like this. This is the opening and closing of the card upsells, and we have to remove it right from here and indent code correctly. Okay, now you can see that we have the horizontal cards, and now click add to the cart. Now we have added this product into the cart, but we are still able to see this into upsells. So we have to skip this product from the upsells. So how we can do this? We have to check if this upsell is already present in the cart. So let's see. In the liquid, we have this filter for the cart. So we can check that if we can pick any of the product and see if the cart use this filter line item for the product, and we can pass any of the product, and we will be able to get line item associated with this product. And I have already used it right here. You can see that we are checking the line items for this upsell item into the cart. Okay, if this upsell is already in the cart, we are checking. If this is blank, if we don't get the associated line item with this upsell, we skip, otherwise we render. Okay, let's add and if and indent the code correctly. Refresh the page. Okay, now you can see that we have skipped this product from the cart drawer. Okay, now you can see that if we remove this product from the cart drawer, we are able to see and this again back into the upsells. So now we have to work on this pop-up. So whenever I click on this button, you can see that model function. This is related to earlier. To get some of the reference, you can see that each of the product card has this quick add option, and also in the main collection product grid there is an option that we can use the standard or none or the bulk option for the quick add. Okay, so and also we can see on the home page we have some of the product cards, and let's see what we get as the in the home page. In the home page we can see the we have the featured products in the featured collection. Let's see. Okay, we have this quick add and this is selected as none. We can use the standard. Basically what we are doing, we are learning how the quick add works in the current DOM theme. So let's see, we are able to see the quick add for this, and now we are getting some different error in the global.js. If we check, this error is coming from the model dialog. Model dialog is this one, and this is the element. Okay, let's search for the model dialog in the DOM. Okay, quick add model, we are getting the error right from here. We are getting only one error. So we have the model opener. We can see that these quick add model is appended in the body. We can see that this is the line that is doing this. This is appending this model dialog into the body. So this code has some connection with these quick add models. So let's see, inspect this model. Okay, you can see that we have this model opener right here, but this quick add model is not present at the end of the body. If we look into this button, we can see the model opener is right here, but the quick add model is appended at the bottom. Okay, quick add model 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, and 3 models that are appended at the body, but we also have a choose options button right here into the cart upsells, but it is not moved to the bottom. So let's see how this works. In the connected callback, we can see that this is the function that whenever this model dialog is rendered to the page, this connected callback will be executed. We can add a debugger point right here and refresh the page. Let's expand it a little bit. Okay, so let's see what we get in this variable. So I will add something in the console. Okay, if you are not able to see the console, you can press escape and you will be able to see the console right here. And let's add this. Okay, let's copy the ID. You can get the ID like this dot ID, and search for this ID in the DOM. Okay, we are getting this ID. We are getting this ID 4 times. You can see that this quick add model is present under the model opener, but previously we saw that this quick add models were moved under this, and this model opener was only present right here. And let's go right here and we can search the closest Shopify section. Okay, this is referring to our cart drawer quick add model. Okay, we are not able to see the closest Shopify section. If we search for the closest Shopify section, we are not able to see the Shopify section because the cart drawer is not rendered in the Shopify section. So what we can do is this, we can render this cart drawer. In the cart drawer, we can see that this is rendered in the theme.liquid, and we can wrap this snippet into a div, and we will add this class Shopify section just to execute this code, and we will add an ID. Okay, you can see that this code is removing the Shopify section from the ID and replacing it with the no space. We can add the ID starting with this code, and we can add any of the identifier after this ID. We can add the Shopify section cart drawer like this. And now let's refresh the page and search for this. And now let's see the closest Shopify section, and now we are able to see the Shopify section, the same div that we have added right here. Now we are able to see this right here. Okay, now let's execute this line by pressing this step over next function call. So you can see that we didn't get any of the error right here. This line will append our quick add model in the body. So let's search for this quick add model in the DOM. You can see that this is the quick add model, and this model quick add was present previously right here, but now you can see that it is appended in the body due to this line document.body append this. So similarly, this line will execute for all of the quick add models, and it will add all of the quick add models in the end of the body. Now remove this endpoint and play the code, and let's search for end of the body. Okay, you can see that 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are able to see the 4 quick add models at the end of the body. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one is this one. Okay, now let's click this one, and now we are able to see the quick add is present at the end of the body, and it is shown like this. Okay, now what we can do, we can add the z index, we can update the z index of this quick add model. Let's search for this quick add model, and you can see that the data section for this quick add model is the cart drawer. So I have written a CSS to update the z index of this quick add model. And if we go to our cart drawer code and let's refresh the page. Okay, one more thing is that you can see that the styles are looking good on the home page, but if we go to the cart page and check the styles of the quick add button and the quick add, let me open, you can see that this is no longer opening it, because we also have to add the quick add.js and quick add.css into the theme. Okay, if we see, let's search for the quick add. Okay, if we see that if the quick add is enabled, the quick add css is added automatically. So we can add into, because in the cart drawer we are always using the quick add, we can use this quick add.css, and similarly if we are using the standard, we can use these two JS, quick add.js and product form.js, and all of this will vary from theme to theme. We have to analyze the theme and check how different components work, and based upon the analysis we will be able to add the quick add and these upsells. Okay, we updated the quick add to standard in index. We can remove this and refresh the page, and you can see that. Hey guys, in this video we will be creating a sticky add to cart. Let's see how it will work. Currently we are on the PDP, and whenever these buttons go up out of the viewport, we are able to see the sticky add to cart at the bottom of the page, and this is how it will look on the mobile view. So whenever we have these buttons in the viewport, our sticky add to cart is not visible, but when these buttons go outside the viewport, these buttons are visible. Right now we are able to select the variant, and also we can add the item to the cart using this button. So let's see how we can create this. Let me discard all the code right from here and start it from the beginning. Okay, you can see that currently I am on PDP, and we want to have a sticky add to cart right here at the bottom. So first of all, what comes in mind is that we will be creating an empty box that will appear right here. Okay, let's add this into theme.liquid under in the main. Stick goes here, and add some class sticky add to cart, and also add a style tag to make some styles. Okay, let's make the background color red for now, and color is white. Okay, let's see how it looks. You can see that we are able to see it right here, but we want this to appear on this area. So what we will do, let's make it sticky. Okay, instead of adding styles here, I will be adding the styles directly into the browser. It will be much easier for the development. Okay, position sticky bottom 0. Okay, we need to make body as a relative, position relative. Okay, it is not, oh no, we want to make it fixed. Okay, I have made it fixed. You can see that it went under this preview bar. It is underneath this preview bar. Okay, let's make some height by adding padding. You can see that it is appearing under the bar. Okay, let's hide this preview bar whenever we are doing the development. We can do this by whenever our theme name is includes development, we can hide this bar. Okay, let's see the class or ID of this element. You can see that this is the ID of this element. We can add a condition right here, like if theme dot name includes development, we need to add a style tag that will hide this ID. Okay, now position fixed, insert 0, top unset. Let's refresh the page and see what we get. Okay, maybe our theme is not synced properly. Let's hard refresh. Sometime it happens. Okay, on 3.7 includes. Okay, I think we need to have contains instead of includes. We need to have contains. Refresh the page again. Okay, we can now see that this stick add to cart is now sticky, but there is some problem with z index. We can fix this. Z index, make it 100, and okay, now it is. One thing we can see that this is not aligning with other elements. So what we can do is, in most of the theme, this to align all the elements, every element on the page is wrapped into a container, and in some of the themes it is the content is wrapped into the page width class. So in this Dawn theme, you can see that we have a page width, and this is containing all the elements into a specific width. We can use the page width class and wrap the content in it, page width, and add some padding, better shape of this add to cart, sticky add to cart. Okay, now we need to have this image, the title, the price, and this variant selector and add to cart button. We can see that this is already present in product info section. We can copy right from here. Let's go to this section. We can see that it is present in the main product. First of all, let's add some div right here that will include the title and the price. Here we will have the image. Underneath we will have the title. You can see that instead of 2, we will be using h3, and similarly h3 right here. And let's add the featured image also. Let's search product featured image somewhere in the code, and we will be able to see the snippet right from here. Okay, you can see that we are able to get this snippet, and it is rendering the product featured media and also adding the alt text. We can copy right from here and use it in our code. In this way, we can use the existing code of the theme, and it will help us to implement quickly. Okay, currently we can see that the width is 50. We can make it 80, and let's see what we get. We have the image and the title. We can remove the red background, and also we can remove the text decoration from this link, and also we will make this a flex box. This is image with content. It will be flex box. And let's add a few gap. Okay, you can see that it is currently transparent, therefore we need to have a background color. Let's make it white, and also add a border on the top, and refresh the page. Okay, now you can see that we have good looking element. We can align the items in center. Okay, and also we need to show the price of the product. We can get the price right from here. You can see that this price is rendered like this. You can see that currently we are on the product page, therefore we are able to get the product variable on the page. Okay, let's add. Okay, the code is increasing on this page. We can create a snippet for this one. We can create a snippet for this sticky add to cart. Okay, let's create a snippet, sticky add to cart dot liquid, and in our snippet and format. Okay, and render our sticky add to cart, and let's see the result. Okay, the result is fine right now. Now we need to have this variant selector and also add to cart button. So let's see how we can add the variant selector from the main product.liquid. Let's search for the variant selector, maybe like this. This is quantity selector, and okay, we have the variant picker. To add the variant picker, we need to have the block. Let's see what data is transferred from the block. Okay, you can see that the variant picker is getting the picker type right from the block settings. Okay, we can copy this variant picker and rename it product variant picker for sticky, add to cart, and copy the name and use it in our code. We need to have a div as a sibling of image with content. We will make a class um, variant add to cart button, because we will also add the add to cart button right here. Okay, now we will render the variant picker with sticky add to cart, and we will pass the product and the product form id, and we will skip the block, and we will hard the settings, that is the settings that are coming from the block, we will hard code them in our snippet. Okay, let's see. Block, you can see that the product form IDs are already present in the main product. So because we are adding this on the product page, therefore we will be able to get this product form ID right from here. Okay, let's see block dot. We need to remove the settings that are coming from the block, and we need to hard code them. We need to assign the picker type as the swatch drop down and remove right from here. We need to keep only the form input drop down instead of swatches, and this is not used. Okay, let's see where else block. Okay, we are getting the swatch shape. Let's see what is the setting of this swatch shape. We can have circle, square, and none. We are not using the swatches, then why this is here? Let's see what we get. It is we as we have drop down, therefore it is also showing the swatches, but we don't want to have the swatch. Let's see what else, what other options we have in the variant picker. Picker type is drop down, and see in the select, it is if the picker type is swatch drop down, therefore it was rendering the swatch, but we don't want to show the swatches right here. And let's see the result now. Okay, we have this drop down, and now we want to show these buy buttons. Let's get the buy buttons from the main product and render it in our sticky add to cart liquid, and refresh the page, and you can see that currently we have like this, and if we add to cart, it is working. So let's add this electric. Okay, we can see that this drop down is not working, the variant selector is not working. Let's see what we can do. First of all, let's style this. Let's start styling from the mobile view. Currently we can see that on the mobile the design looks good, but for the bigger screens, at media screen, min width 768 pixels, we need to wrap these two blocks into another div and make it flex box. Let's see, we need to wrap. Here is a shortcut command shift P, and wrap with abbreviation. We need to add a wrapper. You can see that it is these two blocks are wrapped into the wrapper. The sticky add to cart wrapper, we want to make it flex, and flex direction is already a row. We want to space justify content space between. Okay, let's refresh the page and see what the result we are getting. Okay, there is no wrapper. Maybe the theme is not synced properly. Okay, now we have this. On the mobile view we have this, and on the bigger screen we have this. Okay, for the variant picker and add to cart, on the bigger screen we want to make it display flex. Gap will be 20 pixels, and align items to the end. Okay, this style will be only for the bigger screens. We can copy the style from here. We can see that there is some misalignment. We can check. each element. You can see that product form input dropdown is getting the margin bottom. We can remove that for the bigger screens. In sticky add to cart, for this class, we don't want to have the margin. Refresh the page and see what we get. And for the button, you can see that we also have the margin, or it is not aligned correctly. The margin is coming from this class, product form submit, and in the we can add the same sticky add to cart, product form submit. You can see that now we have the sticky add to cart like this. And let's go to some other page and see. You can see that it is currently appearing right here also, but it is not getting some data, therefore it is showing sold out and there is a glitch. So we want to make sure that this sticky add to cart only appears on the product page. We want to make a condition: if template name is product, then we will render this sticky add to cart, otherwise it will not show. And let's refresh the page and see what we get. Okay, maybe it is not synced properly. Now you can see that it is synced after saving the code again. Okay, now we can see that it is not present on the home page, and also this preview bar is now visible. And if we go to the product page, you can see that sticky add to cart is present right here and it is working. Okay, let's try to add this into the cart. Okay, now we have to add a code to make it appear only when these add to cart buttons go away from the viewport. So we can ask ChatGPT to do so. Basically, I'm showing my way of doing things. Like for these kind of smart different tasks, I ask the ChatGPT for help, and it can also give some very good suggestions. Let's see what we can get right from the ChatGPT. I want to show the sticky add to cart only when the buy buttons are not in the viewport. Give me the code to do so. Okay, let's see. Okay, here you can see that we have sticky add to cart, and these are the buy buttons. You can see that it is using the intersection observer. So whenever you are using the ChatGPT, you should know exactly what you are doing. Don't copy the code blindly from the ChatGPT. We just need to first of all, you need to observe what is happening here. So you can see that it is getting the actual buy buttons, then sticky add to cart, the class that we are using right here, sticky add to cart. Okay, so it is showing the sticky add to cart class exactly like this because I have also asked the question while preparing for the lecture. Okay, so you can see that we have sticky add to cart and the actual buy buttons. So let's see what is the class of our buy buttons. You can see we have the product form buy buttons right here. We will update the class. Okay, if both are not present, we will not run the code. Otherwise, we will create a intersection observer. So we are observing the buy buttons. If the buy button is intersecting, let's see the documentation of this intersection observer. Okay, it is the API to asynchronously observe the change in the intersection of the target element and the ancestor element. If we don't provide the ancestor element, then it will observe the changes with respect to top level of the element, that is the viewport. So if we don't want, okay, let's see some examples. Okay, basically what this intersection observer will do, it will observe the buy buttons. If the buy buttons are present into the viewport, we can see that here we are passing null. So it will observe the buy buttons with respect to this whole viewport. So if they are present into the view, we will hide the sticky add to cart. Otherwise, we will show the sticky add to cart. Okay, now let's copy this code and a script right here, and we need to have the buy buttons class. The buy button class is actually this one, product form buy buttons, and our sticky add to cart class is exactly like this. And instead of using the class list, we will use sticky add to cart dot style dot display is equal to block, or otherwise display none. Let's see what we get. Maybe we are getting some error. Buy buttons, sticky add to cart. What is the error? Illegal return statement. Okay, because this code is not in the function, therefore we can't return this. We can remove this class. because this will always present. Okay, we have another console error. You can see that we have two dots right here. Okay, whenever you are writing the JavaScript, make sure to open the console to see if there are any error. Okay, we have made it opposite. So here should be none and here should be block. And now let's refresh the page and see what we get. So currently we can see that these add to cart buttons are present in the viewport, and now when they go up, we are able to see the sticky add to cart right here. Now let's refresh the page and see the sticky add to cart are still present. We need to make a, okay, let's open some other product where we have bigger this area. In 3-piece board, maybe we have 4 elements, therefore we will be able to see more space, right? Okay, you can see that whenever these buttons go up, we are able to see the sticky add to cart right here. And we, even if we press add to cart button, then we are able to see the product is added to the cart. But there is one problem right here. Let's go to a complete snowboard and try to add this from sticky add to cart. Okay, this is not adding into the cart. Hey guys, in the previous video we created this sticky add to cart, but the problem was that the variant selector was not working good correctly. So in this video I have fixed the variant selector. Let me show you how this works. First of all, let me refresh the page, and you can see that currently we have ice variant selected. Let's select some other color. You can see that the same color is updated in the sticky add to cart. And if we select any of the color right from the sticky add to cart, let's select the sunset, you can see the same color is selected in the product info section. Let me show you how this works. So first of all, let me undo the changes and let's see this step by step. Okay, first of all, we need to clear one concept. So in the product page, there is a form, right? Every form, whenever there is add to cart button, there is a form. And in that form, we have the ID having the value of the currently selected variant. So you can see that I have inspected the add to cart button, and in this add to cart button, we can see a form right here. And in the same form, we have the input ID named as ID. Okay. And the value is the currently selected variant. You can see the same value is present right here. And if we select any of the variant, you can see the value is updating right here. So the same is the case right here. You can see the ID. Whenever we updated the variant right from here, the ID was changing. But now we are inspecting the form of the sticky add to cart. The sticky add to cart also has this form, but the ID is not changing. You can see this ID is different and this ID is different. So whenever we change the color, you can see the ID is not changing for this form. Let's see how we can fix that. Even if we change the product info section, the ID is not changing for this sticky add to cart. Okay, let's see how we can fix this. So first of all, we need to see that how this ID is updating when we update the variant. So let's go right here. Okay, in the variant selects, we can see that we have a event listener named as global.js. So open this one, and here we can see that whenever a variant is changed, this callback runs. We can add a debugger right here and go and read the lines one by one. Okay, here we can see that currently it is selecting the target, and we can go to next lines. And in this function, it is updating the selection metadata. For example, it is updating the currently selected option value. We can go through this function also by going into this function, step into this function, and you can see that we have the value and the tag name. We can open the console to see these values. To open the console, you can press escape, and here we have the console right here. And in this area, we can paste any of the variable that is visible in this current section. Okay, tag name is input and the value is currently powder. You can see that it is updating the currently selected value in this area because we have the target input is target type is radio. You can see target type is radio, therefore this function is working right here. Okay, you can see that this area worked, but we were not able to see the code that is responsible for updating this product info section. So we can also observe that this function is publishing an event. This here you can see that this is the event. So we can search for this event, and we can global search this event and see where this event is subscribed. Whenever an event is published in the theme, there must be an area where that event is subscribed. So we can search for this event. We can make a global search going right here, and we can see that the search panel, and paste the value, paste this event, and you can see that we have these areas where this event is used. So in the global.js, it is published, and in the product info, you can see that this event is subscribed in this product info.js. So in response to this event, this function handle value change and add a debugger right here in this function. Okay, I'm not able to add a debugger for right now because this previous debugger is passed. Let me play that one and now add a debugger. Okay, I'm not sure why this is. We can see that we have the product info.js, and in the product info.js, now add the debugger in this function. Okay, you can see that whenever we updated the variant right from here, the code is passed on this debugger point. Okay, so you can see that we are getting the target and the selected option values. So in this area, we are able to see that this is rendering the product information based upon these variables. Okay, let's see how this is working. So you can see that we have two variables, should swap the product or should fetch the full page. Both of these variables are false. So in this, based upon this variable, these callbacks are running. So because this variable is false, this callback will be running. Update product info. We can search for this variable and go and add a debugger in this area. And now we can press this play button, and you can see that we are in the same function right here. And in this area, you can see that it is updating each area of the page one by one. For example, it is updating the availability and updating the option values, and it is also updating the product URL. You can see that. Observe this area. Observe this area. If we go to next area, and now if I press this next step button, you will be able to see the updated URL right here. Okay, you can see that the URL is updated right here. And you can see that if we go to console and see the HTML, it is basically bringing the fresh section, that is a product info section. New section, it is bringing the new section based upon the selected variant, and it is picking the fresh information, fresh, you can say that the fresh elements based upon this newly selected variant, and updating the information step by step. So here you can see that it is also updating the media, and it is also updating the, it has different options right here. So what we can do, we can create a function that will be responsible for updating our sticky add to cart right here in this area. So let's see, you can see that here we are able to get the variant information also. So let's see what we get in the variant variable. In the variant, you can see that we are able to get the variant ID. Based upon this ID, we can update the ID of the sticky add to cart form. And similarly, based upon the variant title, we can update the option sticky add to cart options. So in this area, we can create a function. Okay, let me search for this area in the VS Code. I have opened the VS Code right here. Press Command, Shift, and F. You can see that in the product info, we have this area. Okay, in this area, let's create a function named as update sticky add to cart, and it will accept the variant. And in this area, let's call this update sticky add to cart and pass the variant information. And we can just console log the variant information from the sticky add to cart. We can also sticky add to cart. Okay, now let's remove the debugger and play it and refresh the page and change the variant. You can see that our function is now working. We are getting the variant information, updated variant information. We getting the same variant ID right here and the variant title right here. And based upon this information, we can update the sticky add to cart. So let's see, we can make a query to select the form value named as ID in the sticky add to cart. Document query selector. In the sticky add to cart, we can select the input named as ID. So you can see that, and we will be updating the value of this ID based upon this variant ID. So we can dot set attribute, and attribute is the value based, and the value will be the variant dot ID. And we can also make it safe by adding this operator, optional chaining. Okay, So we are updating the value right here. So in this, we also saw a function that was updating the selection metadata. So we can get an inspiration right from here. You can see that if the tag name is select, it was updating the options. So we can get the inspiration from this code, and because we have the select variant selector in the sticky add to cart, we can use this same code but update it according to our needs. So what we can do is we can query select this select. We have this function that was updating the, we can paste it right here to get the inspiration. Okay, array dot from dot options. Based upon the options of this select, we will be removing the selected attribute, and okay, you can see that I removed the selected attribute and it is back to default. Okay, and after that we need to find the option that is having the value equals to the title of the variant. Option dot value is equal to variant dot title. First of all, we will paste this one in our function, and similarly we will paste this code. We will also add the optional chaining to, okay, I have selected the electric. Okay, now let's add a debugger right here in this area and see what is actually happening. Nothing is selected right now. Okay, let's see if we get something right here. Okay, we get the option. So now we need to set the selected attribute right here. Dot set the attribute selected. Okay, refresh the page and select the electric. You can see that the electric color is selected and now powder is selected. Now if we press add to cart, we should get this powder into the cart. Okay, you can see that the powder is added to the cart. Now let's click this ice. Now add this to the cart. You can see the ice is added to the cart. So we have fixed the sticky add to cart right from here, and also we need to make it two-way. Like if we select an option right from here, it should update the same option right here. What we can do is we can add a query selector. We can add an event listener, click, and based upon this value, we will be selecting an option right from here. Okay, so now add an event listener on this select. We can add the click event listener, sticky add to cart, and in this select, add the event listener, click, and log the target value. Oh no, instead of click, we need to add the change event listener, change, the change. You can see that we are getting the same variant information right here, and based upon this value we can add a click on the options in the product info section. Okay, so select the product info section. We need to select a input having the value equal to the target value. Okay, so what we can do, having the value equals to, for example, okay, you can see that I have added the ice, therefore it is selecting the same option right from here, but we will update based upon this. So we can add this into our sticky add to cart. In the script we can add this event listener, and based upon this value we will be clicking. Okay, we will be making a click on this. Okay, let's refresh. So I have selected the electric. Okay, it didn't log the selected value. Maybe it is not, the code was not synced. So let's try again. Okay, you can see that I have selected the electric, and now it is also selecting the same value, but the problem is that it is now going on top of the page. So let's see why this is happening. So in the product info section, you can see that after updating the sticky add to cart, let's add a debugger point right here and see what happens. So you can observe that when this is logged, this sticky add to cart is logged, the scroll happens after that. You can see that after this variable is logged, the page scrolls after that. Okay, you can say that we can add a debugger point right here, and after that we can go line by line to see when this happens. Okay, page was not updated, the page was not scrolled. Let's go line by line. Sometimes the debugger goes into very different files. Maybe you will not be able to see what is happening, but you need to continue. it will go right back into the correct files. Okay, you can see that here is a line in the product info.section 129 line. It is having a function named as focus. You can see that once this line is executed, we are on top of the page. So we can comment this line from the product info section, and after that we will not be able to see the jump in the page when we select the option from the sticky add to cart. Okay, so let's select the ice.
Hey guys, in this video we will be creating this gift wrapping option in the product page. Let's see how this works. You can see that currently we have this product 3P fulfilled snowboard, and if we open this we can see I have made this gift wrapping option true, and this is the product meta field, and therefore we are able to see this gift wrapping right here. And if we select this and add this to the cart, you will be able to see that we have two products into the cart. First is the gift wrapping and the other one is this one. And you can also see that we have line item properties, like this product has the gift wrapping option true, and this gift wrapping is for this variant. This is the variant ID right here. This actual product, you can see that the gift wrapping is also deleted from the cart. So let's see how we can do this. First of all, we need to create a gift wrapping product. You can see that in the product I have creating a gift wrapping product. You can name it according to yourself and upload the picture according to your gift wrapping and set the price, and that's all. This is not a physical product, and you can also deselect the track quantity if you like. And once we have this gift wrapping product available, then we need to create a product meta field. In the product meta field, you can see that I have created the custom data and the products, the gift wrapping. I have created a gift wrapping meta field that we can set true or false from the product. You can see that in the 3P fulfilled snowboard, I have made this option true. So after you'll be able to code this into the theme. Okay, first of all, we need to have this gift wrapping product and this gift wrapping meta field on any of the product. So after that, we will be opening this product on the PDP. Okay, let me remove all the code and start from scratch. Let's see how we can do this. I will refresh the page. Okay, you can see that there is no option to add the gift wrapping right here. Currently, I am running the code into the local machine, and we will first of all go to the buy buttons. Let's search for this buy buttons div into the code, Control Shift F, and in the buy buttons you can see that this is the sticky add to cart that we created previously in our previous video, and now you can see that we have the buy buttons right here. And let's try to add our code right here. So if the product meta fields, let's copy the meta field value right from here. Meta field definition, custom data, products, gift wrapping, custom gift wrapping. Okay, you can see that product meta fields dot custom gift wrapping. If this option is true, we need to, let's for now render this pre-tag. Refresh the page. Okay, you can see that we have now meta field for this product available. Therefore, we are able to see this pre-tag right here. If we open any of the other product, you can see that this product do not have the pre-tag, the meta field available. Therefore, we are only able to see the pre-tag right here. Okay, you can also see that we have this gift wrapping only on one product for now. And once we have this, we need to create a input checkbox. Let's add this label. I have created already this label. I'll share this snippet with you. You can see that I will be copying this label. Okay, we can see that we have a label named as gift wrapping, and in this gift wrapping we have an input checkbox named as gift wrapping, and we can add the text, wrap this product into the gift paper, and this will show that it will add $10 more. And I have applied some CSS. So let's refresh the page, and you can see that we have this input field available in this product form. In this product form, we have this field available right now. Okay, so now let's see if we check this, and we need to see the submit event on the form. So you can see that we open this form, And on this form, in the event listeners, we can see that there are 3 submit event listeners. So we need to check the submit event listener. So you can see that this is very long file name. We can skip that. Mostly this kind of file names are coming from the Shopify for the analytic purposes. And also you can see that this is related to shop events. So this is also not related to ourselves. You can see that we have a product form.js. This seems like the actual submit event is coming from this script. Let's click on this name and go to the script. Okay, so you can see that on submit handler we are able to see this code. Okay, so now let's add a debugger right here, and you can place a debugger and in any of the places in this function. Okay, now let's try to add this product into the cart. You can see that our code is stopped into this function. So you can see that whenever we click on this button, the submit event runs this function. And in this function you can see that we have the submit button. It is disabling, and in this line you will be able to see the loading in this button. Let's go to the next line. You can press this button to go to the next line, and if we add, you can see that this is currently disabled after this line. And keep an eye on this button, and we will be able to see the loading class in this button. And also in the next line you can see that in the loading spinner will be appearing in this button, because this class will remove the hidden class from the loading spinner. So let's go to the next line, and the next line you can see that loading spinner is shown because of this line. Okay, now let's go to the actual code which is responsible for adding this product into the cart. So you can see that we are getting the form data. So form data is very good concept to handle. We can place the form, any of the form, and in the form data object you can extract all the data that is present in that form. Okay, let's see what is the form. This dot form, we can see that cart add is the form right here. We can open this into elements panel. Right from here you can see that this is the form, and here in this form we can see that there are certain input fields that are hidden. Currently this is the hidden ID that is responsible for adding the product into the cart. Basically this ID is very important to add this product into the cart. And also you can see that we have a label for the gift wrapping. This is also an input. We will be able to see this input into the form data entries. So you can also see the product ID and the section ID right here. So let's see. If we go to the sources, and form data is right here. If we go to the next line, we have the form data. We can get the form data entries. You can also get the form data reference, form data JS. You will be able to see the documentation of this form data object right from this page. You can see that we have the form data entries. This is an iterator. Let's see form data entries. We can see the entries, the input field that we get in the form data dot entries. Entries is basically a function. We can get form data entries. For each entry we will be logging this entry into the console. So you can see that we get the quantity is 1, and also ID is 1, and gift wrapping is on because we made this on right here. And also you can see the product ID is here and the section ID is here. Okay, now let's play this code. Okay, now try to disable this and now press add to cart. Now let's see what we get in the form data. First of all, we need to go the line after the form data is defined. So therefore we will be able to get the form data in the console. If you are not able to see the console, you can press escape right here in this panel, and after that you will be able to see the console. Okay, so now if we get the entries, you can see that because we disabled this option, so we no longer see the gift wrapping right here. So this was the main reason that we created this input field into this form. So now let's create our logic based upon this form data gift wrapping option. So we can also get the entry, for example, form data dot get. We can also get any of the entry from the form data. So form data dot get gift wrapping. So currently we are not able to see the gift wrapping in this scenario because we have not checked this option. Now let's add the debugger right here because we want to see the form data and remove this debugger right from here. Okay, one more thing that once you place the debugger, you will be able to see the breakpoints right here in the right panel. If you're not able to see, you can see that we have thread, watch, and the breakpoints. The breakpoints are present in the form product form.js. We have two breakpoints right here. We want to keep this breakpoint and want to delete this. You can see I press the delete button and we are only having this one. Okay, now let's select this and add the product into the cart, and now get the form data gift wrapping option. Okay, we can see that we have the gift wrapping option available. Okay, so if we have this gift wrapping option, we will be adding the form data into the cart using AJAX before our actual product is added to the cart. How we can do this? We can use the AJAX cart API. So you can see that here we have the AJAX cart API reference. We can add the product into the cart. You can see the reference right here. We have to create, we need the variant ID. This is actually the variant ID. Here we can see the ID is the variant ID of the variant that you need to add into the cart, and this is the quantity. We will be getting the quantity from the form data. Okay, let's see. In the form data, we were able to see the quantity right here. We will be getting the quantity right from here. And now let's see, we need to add the code right here. Search for this one, and here if the form data dot get option gift wrapping is on, we need to have this form data. Because we already have the form data variable, we will be calling this gift wrapping form data. Okay, so we need to get the quantity. We can get the quantity right from the form data. Similarly, we saw that in the entries we have the entry named as quantity, so we can get the form data dot get quantity, and the variant ID is actually the product. The variant ID we can get from the gift wrapping. This is the product that we created. I created initially. We can get the variant ID. So you can see this is the product ID. We need to get the variant ID. How we can do that? We can see the variant meta fields right here. So if we press view all, so you can see that this product has only one variant. Therefore, we are able to see the variant meta fields on the product page. So we can see that the product ID is here and the variant ID is here. We need to update this variant ID right here. Okay, we have the form data for gift wrapping. So you can see we can console log it, make this indenting better. Okay, so we will be able to see this on the console if we have this gift wrapping option true. Okay, let's see this in action. I will play this code and refresh the page. Okay, currently let me clear the cart. Currently you can see that I have not selected this option, and I will add this product into the cart. You can see there is no console log, and if we select this option and add this product into the cart, you can see that we have this items array that is coming from the product form.js on the line number 53, and we have the quantity equal to 1, and similarly we have the variant ID of this gift product. Okay, now let's update the quantity and test if we get the actual quantity based upon this quantity selector. Okay, so you can see that we have item and the quantity is actually 5. That is basically depending on this quantity selector. So you can see that we are having the correct data. And now what we will be adding, this fetch request. Okay, so we need to wait. First of all, you can see that first of all we will wait the gift wrapping option to add into the cart, and after that we will adding the actual product. Therefore we will use try and catch block right here, and we will be gift wrapping response and await. We need to make this function async function. On submit will be the async function, and therefore we will be able to see the await option right here. We are using this async await because we need a small wait before our actual gift wrapping product is added to the cart. Then after that we will be adding this actual product. Okay, let's see. After that we have some data. Gift wrapping response dot JSON added the gift wrapping. If we get some error, we will be adding this error right here. Gift wrapping error, it will go right here. Okay, so this is how we will be adding this gift wrap into the cart. Let's remove the items from the cart and now select this option and add this product into the cart. You can see that, okay, you can see that we are getting some error. Add product into the cart, add.js. The payload is empty. Actually we have an error right here. we need to get this form data, gift wrapping form data right here before adding to the cart. If we refresh the page, clear the cart, and now select this option and add the product into the cart. In the console, you can see that added the gift wrapping option into the cart, and after that our actual product was added to the cart. This is how we will be adding the product into the cart. Okay, so one part is clear, that we are now able to add this option into add this gift wrapping into the cart. Now let's work on how we can delete this product from here. So first of all, we need to add a line item property on this product. How we can do this? From if the product meta field custom gift wrapping option is available, and if the gift wrapping is on, we need to append one thing in the actual form data. This form data is actually for the main product. Form data dot append. Okay, we need to append the properties, and the property name will be the gift wrapping and the value will be true. Okay, let's try to test this change. First of all, we need to clear the cart. Okay, so how we can do this? We can get to this endpoint cart dot clear, and you will be able to see the cart is now cleared, and refresh the page and you can see the cart is cleared. And select this option, add this product into the cart, and reference. Okay, true is not correct right here, spelling mistake. This is very important, that whenever you are working on the JavaScript, you need to keep an eye on the console for the console errors. Okay, let me clear the console and try to add. Okay, true. I have actually enabled the autosave, therefore it saved the file before actually writing the E. Therefore we face this error. Let me refresh the page again. Okay, you can see that we are now able to see this property right in the actual product. Now we add the variant ID, this variant ID into the gift wrapping. So we will be able to see that this gift wrapping is actually for this product. So this variant. So in the cart reference, you can see that in the items, you can add the properties option right here. So if we add the properties like this, if we add the underscore, the properties will not displayed on the front end, but it will be present. But we need to show the property also. Okay, properties is actually an object of key value pair gift wrapping for. We will be adding the variant ID. How we can get the variant ID? You can see that from the form data we can get the ID. Variant ID is actually present in the name of ID in the form data. So let me refresh to see the. Okay, you can see that this file is synced, and now refresh the page. Okay, let me clear the cart first. Add this product into the cart. Okay, you can see that gift wrapping is true for this product, and also we have this gift wrapping for this variant. So we have added this, and now let's see how this product is actually deleted from the cart. So if we select this option button, okay, we need to keep an eye on the event listeners. We are currently on the button and there is no event listener on this button. So let's go to this parent. The parent of this button is this one, cart remove button. Okay, let's see. This has a click event. We can press this and we can go to the click event. Okay, you can see that when the button is clicked, it is getting the cart items and it is actually updating the quantity to 0. Okay, so now we need to see that whenever we delete an item and gift wrapping is true, we need to delete any of the product that is having variant ID as a gift option right here. Okay, how we can do this? Okay, let's first of all study this code and add a debugger right here. Whenever we click this button, you can see that the cart. Let's see what do we get in the cart items. In the cart items, okay, cart item is not defined. Let's see. Now let's see what we get. Okay, cart items is not defined here. Cart items. This cart item, we are not able to get this. Okay, let's refresh the page and try again. Sometime it happens. Now try to delete this and cart items. Okay, cart items. I have spelled it correctly. Okay, now let's try to run this code. What we actually get. Okay, we are getting the cart items. This dot closest. Okay, let's see what we get in this. This is actually a cart remove button. Okay, we need to select a TR. TR is, we have a table in the cart drawer, and each of the cart line item is placed in the TR. Okay, this dot closest TR. Okay, you can see that we are able to get this TR. Okay, so how we can get the gift wrapping option right from this line item? We can add an attribute to this TR. Okay, let's search for this code, class cart item. Let's search for this cart items in the code. Okay, let's go for the cart items. In the cart drawer, we can see we have T head and TR. In the T body, we have the TR. This is actually looping through all the items right here. So we need to get the variant ID of the line item. Data variant ID. We can get the variant ID from item.variant.id. So you can also get the reference from the liquid objects in the Shopify.dev. Here you will be able to see the line item. Let's search for the line item. Okay, here you can see we have the line item, and in the line item we have the variant, and each variant has its ID. We can also get the variant ID right from this property. We can actually get this one instead of variant.id. We can also use this. Okay, let's see what we get. Let's refresh the page, and in the TR you can see that we have the variant ID for each of the line items. Okay, one more thing we can actually do is because we have this in the gift wrapping, we have this variant ID of this product. We can do is, if the variant, whenever we delete a product, and if we get this dot closest TR dot get dot dataset dot variant ID, because we have this variant ID, and we will be using the same variant ID on this delete buttons, because the gift wrapping has the same variant ID, and we'll be using the same variant ID on the this delete button. Whenever we delete a line item, we will be clicking on the delete buttons that having the same variant ID. Okay, let's see what I am trying to say. We need to go to the delete button. In the cart remove button, in the cart drawer, we need to get the data gift variant, gift for the variant. Okay, you can give the name whatever you want. So I will be using this property from the form.js. We can see that gift wrapping for, we have this property, and in the cart drawer delete button from the item dot properties. Okay, let's refresh the page. You can see that we have this TR and it is having a variant ID. And let's open this cart remove button, and data gift for variant is empty right here. And now let's try to see this. You can see that we have gift for variant is this same ID, and whenever we delete an item, we need to wait for a second, set timeout, and document dot query selector, we can select the, first of all we need to get the variant ID. You can see that this is how we were able to get the variant ID. This dot closest TR, from the dataset we need to get the variant ID. Const variant ID is equal to this one, and we will be using this same variant ID right here. And because once the item is cleared from the cart, after 1 second we will be removing the same variant ID. Okay, we are getting the, from this query selector we are actually getting the delete button. We need to click on this. After, you can see that this code is actually clicking on this delete button of the gift variant after 1 second, and in this way we will be deleting the gift item. Okay, let's see. Let me hard refresh the page and add this product into the cart and add a debugger point on the delete click event. Okay, here you can see that we have deleted that product, actual product, and after that we are, okay, let's see what we get in this document.query selector. Data for variant, and variant ID is actually what we get from the deleted item. Okay, we are able to see the delete button, cart remove button with the same variant ID, and after that we are clicking this one. Let's go to the next line. You can see that once we click on this button, you can see that we have this button is clicked, therefore we are able to see the code is again coming into the cart remove function. Because we have the debugger, therefore the code paused right here. So the cart item is actually updating the quantity of this line item, and here you can see the quantity is updating to 0. And let's see if we get something in the variant ID. Variant ID, this variant ID is actually for the gift wrapping object, and we don't get any of the delete button for this variant corresponding to this variant ID. Therefore, we will not be clicking on this one. The main purpose of this optional chaining, this question mark is referred as the optional chaining. We are using this optional chaining to avoid any of the error message. So let's try to run this code without optional chaining. You can see that we are getting this error because this code returns null and we are trying to click on null. Therefore, we are getting this error. So I added this optional chaining to avoid this error message. So the code saw that this was null and therefore the click was not. Hey guys, in this course you might also find this product CSV. First of all, you need to download it. In the store, you have to create body color meta field for the products. If you go to add definition, you can see if you type body color, you will be suggested with the automated Shopify meta field. This one, body color, you can just select this and press save. You have now the body color meta field based upon the meta object that is created by default from Shopify. Now you can import the products. Here, if you click the import, you can see upload the Shopify formatted CSV, and from there you need to upload the CSV. You can uncheck the first one and tick the second one, and now import the products. You will have all the products that we used in the course. For example, the cars and SUVs to make some design a little bit better. Instead of these snowboards, it will take a while to upload these images. You can also close this dialog. Let's wait for a second. You can see that these products are already imported. And if we go to the online store, you can see that we have these products. But you can also customize your theme to show the feature products based upon these collection. After importing the products, you can see that once we import all these product has the collection name as cars. All of these products has the tag named as cars. So we can also create a collection named as cars. And if the tag is equal to cars, you can put these products into this collection, and this is the tag based collection. And in the online store, you can customize the store to show this collection anywhere on the page to get the better look and feel. In the featured collection, I have selected the cars already. You can see that this looks a little bit better than the original snowboards, and similarly you can update the menus to show the cars. So in this way you can have a little bit better experience. Hey guys, in this video we will be creating these images swatches on the PDP. In the backend, you can see that I have 3 colors for this product: white, black and the gray, and each variant has its own image. You can see right here. And if we go onto the PDP, you can see that on the PDP we have the variant images like this. Whenever we click the variant image, the variant is changed accordingly. So let me show you how we can create this. I will revert my code back, and now let's refresh the page, and you can see that here are the default swatches that are present by default in Dawn theme. Whenever we change the variant is changed right here, and these colors are coming right from these colors. Okay, so first of all we need to check from where this code is coming. So I have used this tool to see. Here we can see that we have a swatch, and a CSS variable is giving the background color. So we can search for this style or maybe swatch to go to the exact snippet. We can close all the areas and global search. We can make the global search by Control Shift F and then paste your code right here. You can see that in the swatch.liquid snippet, we are able to see the exact area from where this swatch is coming. And now let's see how these options are rendered. You can see that we have an input, and input has a label right here, and in the label we have this swatch. So we need to find this code. Okay, let's search for this parent class JS product form input swatch. And in this swatch we will be able to see some for loop that is rendering all the options right here. So it is good idea to search the parent of the repeating elements. Okay, you can see that we have the product variant picker, and in the product variant picker, when the picker type is swatch, we are able to see field set with these classes. And in the field set, we can see that we have the product variant options, and in the product variant options, we can see that we have a loop on the option dot values. Okay, now let's see in the option dot values what is the liquid that is rendered right here. Okay, here we can see that the liquid is rendered based upon this picker type. Okay, now let's see what we get in this picker type. We can make a pre tag, and here we can render the picker type to see what we get in the picker type. So we can go into we can find which code is being rendered right here. Okay, if we refresh the page, we will be able to see the picker type. Picker type is swatch. Now we can remove that, and now you can see that this code will be rendered. Here we have the swatch input. Now let's go to the swatch input. I will copy this name and press Ctrl and P and paste it right here. You can see that we have the swatch input dot liquid. This is the snippet. Okay, in the swatch input, you can see that we have the input field, and with the input field we have a label, and in the label we have this swatch, and this swatch has this swatch background color. In this way we are able to see which code is responsible for rendering these swatches. Okay, in the swatch, the product variant options is rendering the swatch input, is rendering the swatch dot liquid. Okay, so in the swatch input we get the value. Let's see what we get in the value. Value is actually the option values. Let's see what is the option. Option is right here, product option with values. Product option with values, we have option, and in the option we are looping through the option dot values, and value is then shown right here. And okay, so let's see what we get in. We can search for the option with values, Shopify object, liquid objects. In the documentation we can search for option with values. Okay, we can search storefront objects, product option values. Okay, this is the storefront API. We need to search for the liquid API. Yes, product option with values. This is the object that we want to search. Okay, here we can see that what we get, option with values has all these properties, and you can also see that product option with values. And let's go to the product option, and the product option we get the values, and in the product option value we get the variant object also. So we need to get the variant featured image. Okay, you can see that here in the option with values we get the option, and in the option we have the values, and for each value is passed down to this swatch input, and in the swatch input we get the value, and the value has this variant property also. Variant, we can add data variant image right here, and here you can see that value dot variant dot featured image, and we need the image URL with the width of 200 pixels. Okay, let's refresh the page and see. In the input you can see that we have data variant image, and each variant image is present in the input value, and we want to place this variant image into this swatch, and we also need to update the swatch styles. Okay, we will do this part using JavaScript. So we need to loop through all the radio inputs, and we need to get data variant image. Okay, document dot query selector, we need to get the input with the type equal to radio. We need to query selector all. Actually we have 3 swatches right here, therefore we are able to get the 3 node items. Okay, for each input we need to console log the variant image. Variant image is equal to input dot dataset dot variant image. Okay, let's see if okay, we data variant image, we have the data variant image. In the data set we can get the variant image and then console log it here. Let me increase the size of this console variant image. You can see that we have these images right here, and now we have to add this variant image into swatch right here as the background. So I have already written this code. Let me show you how we can do this. I already wrote this code. So we are getting all the radio inputs, and then we need to get the label. We can get the label by input dot next element sibling, and this will give us the label. This is the label right here. And after that we need to get the swatch. Swatch will be present in the label with the class name as swatch. So we can get the swatch like this. And after that we need to update if we have the swatch image URL and the label, we need to update the background image of the swatch. You can see that swatch style background image. We will update the image URL is this one. Image URL is this one right here, and we will update the background image. Okay, let's see what we get. Press enter, and you can see that the images are present right here. And now we need to remove the border radius. Let's see the styles. If we go to the swatch, in the styles you can see that this swatch has the CSS variable named as swatch border radius. If we update this CSS variable to 0, you can see that for this swatch the border radius is removed. And similarly the label also has the border radius property, so we can also remove that. So I have also already done this. So we can, in our snippet, we can set the property swatch input border radius to 0, and also we need to set the CSS property of the label that will remove the border radius from the label. Okay, let's press enter, and you can see that the border radius is removed right from here. And also we need to increase the size of the swatch. So we can do this by adding the width property. Add the width as 200 pixel and add the aspect ratio of 2. We can control like this. You can see that the image is now looking good. So we can copy these properties and paste in our script swatch width and swatch aspect ratio, and press enter. You can see that the swatches are now updated. Okay, so we have this script is ready to update the swatch styles. Now let's refresh the page and test the script again. You can see that script is working perfectly fine, and we need to add this script in the theme.js by, in the script tag, create the function named as update pdp swatches, and paste our snippet in this function. And now when the DOM gets ready, we need to run this function document add event listener DOM content loaded. When the DOM content is loaded, we need to run our function. Okay, let's try and refresh the page. You can see that the swatches are updated successfully. Okay, now let's test it. Whenever we change the variant, you can see the swatches are shifted to their original shape. So let's see why this happens. If we check the variant change, in the variant change, actually this product area is rendered again, re-rendered. So let's see how this is working. If we want to find the change event in these swatches, we need to go to the event listeners, and let's try to search from the bottom. Okay, we have this swatch. It doesn't have any of the event listeners. We can check its parent element. I am pressing the left arrow key to go to its parent. So its parent also don't have any of the event listener, and we can press the left arrow key to go to its parent. So field set also don't have any of the event listener. So if we press the left arrow key again, we can see the variant selects has the change event right here. It is present in the global.js at line number 1069. If we click this, we can see that whenever the variant select is changed, it is running this function. So this is actually updating the selection metadata, and also this is actually running this code. And also we can see there is an event, pub sub event, option.value selection.change. So if we search for this event from here, it is published. We can search the location from where it is subscribed. So we can press these 3 dots and search and paste over pub sub event and press enter. You can see that we get actually 2 files, global.js and the product info.js. We also have the product global.js and some variation with this one. So basically it is the same file. It is the same file. So we actually got 2 files, global.js and product info.js. And in the global.js, it is published. This event is published, And in the product info.js, let's click here and see. You can see that it is subscribed right here. This function is subscribed right here. Whenever this event is fired, this function runs. So we can search for this function in this product info.js. Let's see. You can see that we have a render product information function right here. And let's search for this function, and you can see that it is actually making a AJAX call, and after that it gets some HTML and it is rendering the HTML right here. So if we add the debugger right here and press the variant, press the swatch, you can see that we have this callback event. And from here, if I close this, I need to go to the console. You can see that here we have the console. I pressed the escape button to go to the console, and you can see that we get the HTML right here, updated HTML. We can see what we get in the HTML. This is actually the whole section. We can search for this section right here. This is actually the whole section that is updated based upon this AJAX call, and therefore the swatches are converted back to its original form. So this callback function is actually rendering this information on the page, and once the information is rendered on the page, we can dispatch a custom event in this then dot then. Let's search for this dot then. Okay, so from here we will dispatch an event. Once the whole PDP is updated, we will dispatch a new event. Document dot dispatch an event, new custom event, and PDP updated. We can subscribe, we can listen for this event in the same area where we wrote a snippet to update the PDP swatches. Add event listener, and we are now listening the PDP update. And here, once the PDP is updated, we need to run this function to update the swatches. Okay, now let's remove the debugger right from here and refresh the page. So what we have actually done, okay, in the product info.js, we have written down this function to dispatch the event. And now let's refresh the page. Okay, you can see that now the swatches maintain their original position because, okay, let's see what we actually do. We wrote this function to update the product swatches. We wrote this function to update the product swatches with the variant images, and this function runs whenever the DOM content is loaded. This is when we land on the product page, and in this area, when the whole product page is updated, after that we dispatch a new event like product PDP is updated right from this location, and we subscribe to this event in the same area where we wrote our update PDP swatches. And here, whenever the product page is updated, instantly we call this function to update the swatches. Therefore, we keep the swatch style maintained.
Hey guys, in this video, we will have an introduction to the web components. Let's add the swatch images to the product cards. We just need to add the variant images as the swatches. I have written down this content. We are looping through the variants and using the variant images as the product swatches. Let's go to the product card, and in the card content, we need to paste our code. And after that, we need to copy these styles and paste these into the component card.css. I will be sharing this code with you. If we refresh the page now, you can see that we have the image swatches for each of the product, and now we want to update this image whenever we hover over this any of the swatch. I have also written down a JavaScript code that will help to do us. We can go to theme.liquid, and here we need to create a script, simple implementation. The main purpose of this video is to give the basic introduction of the web components. Let's see. If we refresh the page, you can see that we are looping through all the variant swatch, and whenever the mouse enters the swatch, we are updating the source tag of the image element that is present in the product card wrapper, and also we are removing the source set. You can see that the product images are updated whenever we hover over any of the swatch. Now the problem is that whenever we update the filter, for example, if we want to get the prices till 50,000, you can see that that functionality is now gone away because there is no event listener present on these swatches, because the product, whenever we apply the filter, the product cards are re-rendered on the page and the existing event listeners are removed, because this event listener is only working whenever we land on the page, and after the product cards are re-rendered without refreshing
refreshing the page, these event listeners are now not available. What we can do is, one solution that comes in mind is that we can find a location from where these product cards are entered, and after that we can add a JavaScript event, and in response to that JavaScript event we will be calling this script again. Let's see this approach. Let me create the function out of this script. We will name this update swatch image, and whenever we land on the page we'll just run this function, and after that we need to find the location of the JavaScript code that is responsible to update the product cards. First of all, what we can do is we can add a DOM breakpoint. We have this section, and let's add a DOM breakpoint, breaks on subtree modification. Because the subtree is modified whenever we change the filter, we have added the breakpoint on the subtree modification. You can see that we are in the facets.js, and here we have the function that is updating the facets area. Let's see, if we press escape, we will be able to get the console, and you can see that we are able to get this element that is right here, because the facets will be updated whenever we change the filter. Let's press the resume button. Keep on pressing this resume button. You can see that we are able to see the applied price filter right here, and if we keep on pressing this resume button, we are in the rendered contents in the facets.js, and here it is outer HTML of the facets summary, that is this area right here. We can also log this variable right here to see what is actually present in this variable, and after that we can see that this function is rendering the product grid. We are able to see all this because we added the DOM breakpoint on this section, and because of this we are able to see all these functions that are responsible for updating the page in response to the filter change. Render the product grid. This function is actually HTML of this product grid and updating it, and we need to go to this function, and here once this product grid is rendered, it is also rendering the product count, because there is no product found right now within this price range. Therefore this is showing this result, and that this is also updating the product counts. So we can go see what is actually happening in this code by using this DOM breakpoints and also this JavaScript debugging. Okay, you can see that after this line, link spinner is also hidden. So we saw that the render product grid container, this function was responsible to update the product grid, and after this we can dispatch a new event in the document. Dispatch event new custom event. You can say that collection grid updated, and we can listen to this event in the theme.liquid, and here document.add event listener. We can also console log this function, this event name, and now we can also remove right from here and also from the sources panel. If we go to DOM breakpoints, we are able to see right here. We can also remove it from here, and if we refresh the page, you can see that there is no product that is within this price range. We can remove this filter, and you can see that our collection grid was updated, and therefore if we hover over any of the swatch, the main product image will be updated. You can see right here the bug that was initially present is now solved, and if we update the price to 50,000, you can see that whenever we hover over the image, the main product is updating. This was the one method to handle this case. There is also another method. Let me show you that. That is web components. We can create a web component named as Variant Swatches. We can create a custom component like this, and in DOM theme in the global.js there are a lots of different custom web components. This is the syntax. This is the syntax to define a web component. We actually extend a class from the HTML element, and then in the custom elements we define the tag with this class Variant Swatches that extends HTML element, and we also need to define the custom elements or define variant swatches that we have used right here. We need to define this tag with this class, and also we need the constructor function that will call the constructor of this class, and there is a function named as connected callback, that is lifecycle method of every web component that runs whenever a component renders on the DOM. This function automatically renders itself. We can make a console log right here in this function. We can call it, we can console log this we will be logging this variant swatch, every variant swatch on the console whenever the variant swatch is rendered on the page. Now let's refresh the page, and you can see that we have variant swatches on the page. Therefore, we are able to see these two hellos. And if we remove the filters, and you can see that we are able to see all these hellos from the variant swatches. The code that we actually wrote right before in the theme.liquid, we can write it here. And in the global.js, we can call a function named as add event listeners to update image. And from here we will be looping through. Now we have this code, this dot query selector variant swatch. We will be looping through all the variant swatches in this element. In this element we are looping through the variant swatch, and the main functionality will be like this, because we are getting the new image from the dataset variant image that is present right here. And after that we are getting the product card wrapper, and from there we are getting the card media image tag, and then setting the source as the new image. This is the main function, and we can comment down this code in the theme.liquid, and now only this code will be running. We can add these event listeners into the connected callback, which means that whenever this component is added to the DOM, these event listeners will automatically be applied. Now let's refresh the page. Okay, we need to use event listeners to update the image, because this method is of this class, and we were getting this reference error because this function was not called correctly. Now let's refresh the page, and you can see that we are getting the hello from each of the swatch. And also if we hover over the image, you can see that this function is working perfectly fine. And if we update the filters right from here, and you can see that the new hellos are also coming, and the functionality is intact. In this way, you can see that for these type of use cases, the web components are highly beneficial. Let's revise this. First of all, we created the variant swatches for the product cards and added the styles like this. And initially we used this script at the event listeners to update the product card image on the hover of the swatch. So the main bug was that whenever we changed the filter, the event listeners were removed. So we found code that was responsible to update this product grid by adding the DOM breakpoint, subtree modification breakpoint on this section, and we were able to find the code that is rendering the product grid container, and from there we dispatched the custom event and we listened to this event. So this was the first approach, and now after that we created a web components as a second approach, and this looks much cleaner approach. Hey guys, in this video we will be having an introduction to the section rendering API. For example, let's see, we have this 3 variants on this product page, and we also have this expected delivery time, and we need to change this expected delivery time based upon the variant selected. So you can see that I have created the meta fields for the variant. Every variant has this delivery time meta field, and you can see that this is the product right now, red, black and white. And if we look, this variant has the meta field delivery time 3 to 5 weeks. And if we go to the next variant, this has 2 to 4 weeks. And similarly, the third variant has this 1 to 3 weeks. So we need to update this information based upon the variant selected on the PDP. Currently we are using the Dawn theme, and let's see how we can do this. So for now I have just rendered this meta field product selected or first available variant meta fields delivery time above the buy buttons. I have rendered this information above the buy buttons. So whenever we land on the page, it shows the information based upon the selected variant or the first available variant. If the variant is selected, means that if we have some of the ID in the URL, then this information will be shown based upon that variant. Otherwise, it will select the first available variant. So for now, let's remove this variant ID and refresh the page. You can see that we are getting the expected delivery 3 to 5 weeks. And even if we change the variants, this information is not updating. We need to achieve this by using this section rendering API. So to achieve this, we need three things basically. First of all, we need to have the product URL. That is already we have, because we were working on the product page. We will be having the access to the product URL, and after that we need to have the variant ID. So whenever we change the variant, we need to have the variant ID. And the third piece is that we need to have the section that we need to render using the section rendering API. So let's see, in this section we will be having the information that we need to update based upon the product URL and the variant ID. Okay, now let's create a section that will have this information, and I will name this function expected delivery dot liquid. And in this information we don't need the schema, we only need the information that we need to update. So I will just, because we only need to have the delivery time of the first available or the selected variant, we will just paste it right here. We only need to have this information. So let's see, we can make a request to this URL. The product URL has the product URL, variant ID, and the section ID. These two are the query parameters, variant and the section ID. And if we make the request to this URL, you can see that we have the product URL, variant ID, and now if we add the query parameters of the section ID, you can see that we have the expected delivery section available in our code. And if we press enter, you can see that we are getting the information that we added in this section. We can get any kind of information and any kind of HTML structure by updating this section. And whenever we will make the request to this section, give the information based upon the variant ID right away. So let's see, we can also get the variant featured image like this. If we refresh the page, you can see that we are getting the image, and whenever we change the variant on the product page, you can see the variant ID is updating. This is by default in the Dawn theme. So let's get the variant ID of this white product right here and refresh the page. You can see that the image is also updated based upon the variant ID, and this meta field information is also updated based upon the variant ID. So we just need the variant ID, product URL, and the section that we need to get the information, the desired information. Okay, if we inspect the code, you can see that we are getting actually the Shopify section, expected delivery, and here we have the same information that we rendered right here, and we have the meta field information and the image. We can make the desired HTML structure based upon the need. We can wrap this into the p tag, and we can wrap this into a div tag, and also we can have the pan to get the variant SKU. So it means that we can do anything in this section and it will be updated accordingly. You can see that we have the updated DOM structure, DOM elements, e tag, span tag, and the div tag. Whenever the variant changes, we will copy these elements and update on the page according to our needs. So let's see, there were three parts: product URL, variant ID, and the section ID. We have created the section, and we need to get this information, like this information we need to keep the same right here. We need to get this information based upon the variant ID, and now we only need to get the variant ID whenever the variant change, and after that we will be able to make the request like this. And when we make the request to this URL, we will be getting data of this section, and we will paste the same data right here whenever the variant changes. And you can see that I have updated the section data according to our desires. And if we refresh the page, you can see that we're getting the similar text that we need. Now we only need to get the variant ID whenever the variant changes. So how we can do this? Let's inspect the swatch. You will be able to get this by looking into the event listeners. If we inspect this element and go to the event listeners, you can see that currently this element don't have the event listeners. If this element don't have the event listener, we can check its parent. Go to this parent, we can press the left arrow key and we are going to its parent, and its parent don't have the event listener right here. One more thing to note, that in the event listener we need to uncheck this ancestors check mark right from here. And if we press the left arrow key in the you can see that the variant selects has this event listener that is present in the global.js. That is the change event listener. Let's see what it does. If we go to the global.js, you can see that whenever we get the change event in the variant selects, this function is executed. So we can read the code line by line by adding the debugger point right here, and whenever we change the variant, our code stops right here. Okay, to go to the next line, you can press this button, and if you need to get the value of some variable, you can hover over that variable, and also you can log that into the console. To open the console, I have already opened this. If you are not able to see the console like this, you can just press escape, and if you press escape, it will be hidden again. Let's press escape. You can see that we have the console right here. We can add the target, and actually it is showing the same variable right here. So this function is just the update selection metadata is just updating the information of this variant selects right here. Because we have just selected the black variant, it will update the particular to black right here. If you need to read this code, you need to step into this function, and from here you can go line by line by stepping over the next function call, and here you can see that it is getting the selected swatch value. We can paste it right here. Selected swatch value is this span, and that is updating the inner HTML of this selected swatch value. We can see the value, what is present in the value. If we hover over the value, you can see that the value has the black text. So if we execute this line, you will be able to see the black text right here. So if we press the next button, you can see the black is updated right here. And this function was just updating the selection metadata, means that it was just updating the selected color right here. And now you can see that we have also an event is published from this function. So if event is published from one location, it will be definitely subscribed to other location. So to check the other location, we just need to copy this function, and let's search for this function into whole code. You can search for this function. I have just pasted it right here and press enter. You can see that this function is present in 2 locations. Actually it is showing the 4 files, because global.js, this is the same file actually, and productinfo.js and productinfo.js, this is the same file. So you can see that it is published from the global.js, and it is subscribed into productinfo.js. It is subscribed right here, and whenever this event is triggered, this function is executed. Handle option value change. If we search for this into the same file, you can see that this is the global search in the code, and this search panel is for the same file that we are currently present in. We can search for this function, and here you can see that we have this function. We can add a debugger point right here, and the press resume button. You can see that our code is now stopped in this location. And if we press the step over next function call this next button, you can see that we are now on the next button. So based upon the variant change, this function is actually rendering the product information onto the page. So here we have the product URL, and also it is updating the product information based upon the variant change. So let's see what this function does. We can copy this function and search in the same file, and you can see that this function is actually making a request, and after that it is getting some response, and from the response text it is actually parsing the HTML, and HTML is then passed to the callback function. So we can add a debugger point right here and press resume. So you can see that now function is stopped right here. So if we go to the console, from here we can see what we actually get into the HTML right here. The main purpose why we are doing is we just need to get the updated variant ID. We need to get the variant ID. So because the whole information on the page is updated whenever we change the variant, so the newly updated variant ID will be also present in the newly fetched HTML. So in the HTML, you can see that we are getting this function, this section. So if we copy this section and search for this function in the elements panel, you can see that this is the area that is fetched based upon the newly selected variant. So whenever we change the variant, variant ID is updated into the product form So whenever we add the product into the cart, it into the cart. So let me show you what I mean. If we look into this has the form, add to cart form, and this form has the hidden input name as ID, and every product form has this value. So you can see that this ID and this ID is actually matching. This ID and this ID is actually matching. So whenever we change the variant ID is updated right here. So you can see that we are able to get the newly fetched HTML based upon the variant change, and so from here we can get the updated variant ID. So this was the main purpose, to debug code like this. So from here we can get the variant ID. So if we product form buttons, actually we can make a query selector, document dot query selector. In the product form we need to get the ID. Product form, in the product form we need to get the input having the name equal to ID. You can see that it is the product variant ID class, and from here we can get the value. So it is just showing the exact same variant ID right here, and this is actually we have fetched the variant ID from the existing product form. So in the sources panel you can see that we have the updated HTML, and from the updated HTML we can also get the updated variant ID. So what we can do this, we can make a query selector on the updated HTML. We have the newly updated HTML, and on the HTML we can see that we have made the query selector on the updated HTML, and from here we are able to get the updated variant ID. This was the main purpose to debug the code. So now you can see that we have the product URL, variant ID, and the section ID. So we will be able to make the call to get the data based upon the variant change. Okay, let's see. This callback function will update the DOM. We just need this location, and from here I have made the global search. You can see that, and from here you can see that we can get the variant ID like this, const variant ID, and from here we will be dispatching a new event on the document.dispatch event, new custom event, variant updated. We just need to dispatch this event, and after that we need to pass the detail. In the detail we need to pass the variant ID. So this is actually getting the variant ID and dispatching this event. We can subscribe to this event in any of the location of the theme, and we will be able to get the updated variant ID. So let's see. Now we have the variant ID like this. We can also have the product URL. Let's see what we get in the request URL. Okay, request URL is not defined. Okay, let's debug it again. We have already added the debugger point into the product information. You can see that in the sources panel we have threads, watch point, and breakpoints. In the breakpoints you can see that one breakpoint is present in the global.js and other is present in the product info.js. We can also make the debugger point right here, and you can see that the fetch request has also the debugger point. It is showing the product info.js has 3 debugger points. One is present on the 64 number line, other is on the 120 line, and other is present on the 125 line. So let's currently you can see that in the call stack we are on this function. If we press play, you can see that we are here right now, and if we press again you can see we are now right here, and we can get the request URL. Request URL is actually this one. Okay, all right, so now we just need to make a fetch request to product URL, variant ID, and the section ID to get the information based upon the newly updated variant ID. Okay, let's see how we can do this. I will remove the debugger points right from here, and you can see that we have dispatched this event with the variant ID. We can subscribe to this event in the product page. In the main product we can create a new script. So if we go at the bottom of the product information right here, and we can make a new script tag and comment dot add event listener event dot, we will be logging event dot detail into the console. So now let's refresh the page. If you need to see whether we have this event listener on the DOM, you can also see the event listener. If in the elements panel we just need to press the ancestors, it will show all the event listeners on the elements that are present on the top of this element. So here you can see that variant updated is present right here. This is present on the DOM, so it is present right here. Variant updated, and we can add a debugger point right here, and whenever we change the variant we get the variant updated event is triggered right from here, and we can add the E. It is the custom event, and event has this detail. Okay, event detail has the variant ID like this. We were logging the event.detail onto the console. If we press play button, you can see that variant ID is present right here. And now we have the variant ID. We can also we actually need the product URL, variant ID, and the section ID. So because we have already added this script into the product page, product.liquid, we can get the product URL like this, const URL section. The name of the section is this one. We can copy it right from here, variant ID. We get the variant ID by using this key. And now we have the URL like this. We will paste the product URL, and after that we need to have the variant ID and the section ID. We can paste it right here and update the variant ID with this, and the section ID is this one. Now let's console log the URL. So whenever we update the variant, we are getting this URL right here. So we can just paste this URL to see the updated information. The white variant had this 1 to 3 weeks, and this variant has 2 to 4 weeks. Now we need to make the request to this URL. So to get the request, in most of the themes, you will be able to get the format of the request by just looking into the section ID. If we global search the section ID, you can see that this theme is actually making a lots of different section rendering API calls. So if we search for the section ID, you can see that on cart update, we are getting this request, and we can get the idea like how we can make the request and how we can get the data from this request. So I will just copy right from here and update and add it right here. So you can see that we have the URL right now, and we will just update the URL. And whenever we get the response, we will make the text out of response, and after that we will make the HTML from this text. And for now, just console log the updated HTML on the console. So whenever we change the variant, you can see that this is the updated HTML that we get. And from the updated HTML, we just need to get the inner text of this ID, const updated delivery text HTML dot get element by ID. So the pattern is like this. This is the section ID that we used, and it is getting this Shopify section in the start. So we have the updated delivery text, and we can log it onto the console. And if we refresh the page now, and okay, I will remove the debugger point that is actually present, and on the console I will clear all the information and change the variant. You can see that we are getting the updated information, and we can just update this information right here. So we can give this div an ID, delivery text, and we can get the inner HTML of this section, and update the inner HTML of this element with the updated delivery text. And here is how we can use the section rendering API to change the information on the page. So if we select, then okay, basically we are getting the undefined. So here is the bug. Maybe we can go to this area, and here we can add a debugger point and see what we get. We can make the debugger point right here, and on the console we have this one. We try to get the inner HTML. Yes, there is a spelling mistake. Inner HTML is all capital. So if we write like this, it will give us undefined, because there is no property like with the small TML. So we need to update this HTML like this. Refresh the page. Actually, I will remove the debugger point right from there. The debugger point was already removed. Clear the console and update